What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to 2022. Who would have thought we'd have made it this far?
COVID is Category 4 hurricane slamming in.
First off, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I know I've been kind of MIA here. The car behind me, very excited to show it off to you guys. But before I do, I just want to say thanks for all the support over the last year, and I am really looking forward to 2022 being. Really want to focus on making like some more cinematic videos and stuff, which I have some friends here helping, which I'm very thankful for at the moment. We're gonna rewind to about 4 days ago, and then we'll pick it back up here in give or take like 3 minutes. Okay. The reason that we are at a Porsche store at 6 a.m. in the morning is because Ramsey here got me my all-time dream car, which you've done a couple times now. My dreams keep shifting a little bit. Going. They decided, let's open up the dealership about an hour before anyone else can get in here, and we can do a full video and show off the new hotness. Now, first off, the GT3 RS is gone. A lot of you guys are gonna ask, like, hey, where's the 3RS? Unfortunately, I couldn't do both cars at the same time. It was sold, but it was sold to a really good friend of mine, and I can still get access to it, I can still drive it, so I was okay with that. Ramsey, do you wanna show off? This car is paint to sample deep sea blue. A lot of you guys were guessing what color I would do. Did you guess that I would do basically black? This isn't my car. This is my car. Probably one of the sickest 992s in the country. I think everyone would agree on that. So without further ado, let me show you guys what's under the sheet. So first thing you're thinking is, Joe, why would you show us a paint to sample car at night? Poor planning, number one. Number two, the lighting on this car is insane. I just thought it'd be really cool to do like a nighttime edit and show it off. First things first, paint to sample black olive or NATO olive or dark olive. I've heard it called a couple different names. The way that paint to sample works with Porsche is they have like a pre-approved list of colors, which is anything that VW Group has used on any of their cars. So Lamborghini, Audi, Porsche, anything from the past, all of that. That's about $15,000, which is, I'm not happy to admit it, but what I paid to get this color on the car. Then they have the true paint to sample, which is like $21,000. And that is like, you like your wife's handbag, you can ship them a sample of it and they will match your car to that handbag. This, I don't know exactly when it was featured on a Porsche in the past, but I do know it was a heritage color, and it just looks so badass. It's like a full military green. I wanted to show you guys what it looked like in the sunlight, so I'll just roll some of those clips right now. Outside of that, we did the LED matrix lights, which I just mentioned, as well as I threw some clear markers on the car already. I've never modded out a car before I bought it, but this one, the reason we're picking up a little bit later is I had my good friend over at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, John, do a full PPF expel shield on the whole car. And while he had it, I had him swap out a couple little parts. Wheels are finished in satin black, which was an option. And then the PCCBs are the racing yellow calipers. Unless you're trying to set a lap time on the Nürburgring, it makes zero sense to pay this much for these brakes. The only real benefit that I will see from it is basically no brake dust on my wheels. But I just really wanted the yellow calipers, and I felt like if I painted them aftermarket, someone would yell at me. So that's why we went with the PCCBs. On the back of the car, we went with the clear full-length tail light. So when it's off, it's all clear. There's not a whole lot of red kind of clashing with the green. And then at night, it lights up red. I am so in love with the back end of this car. I think this is the best looking car from the rear. Maybe the Aston Martin Vantage is like a close second, but besides that, it just, fuck. Two things we did not do, which you'll probably comment about. There was an option to a carbon fiber roof, and someone can probably comment. I don't know if the roof is always carbon fiber and the option is to leave it carbon fiber, or if it's not. But it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me to do the carbon fiber roof and the mirrors when I'm paying an insane amount of money for a custom color. It made more sense to like put as much of that color on the car as possible. So that's why I didn't go with the carbon fiber roof or the mirror caps. And we also debadged the car. So besides right here on the door, it doesn't say anything about being a GT3. Kind of like flying under the radar a little bit. The inside, I think, is just as cool as the outside. So let's jump in. Bucket seats are an absolute must in any Porsche that you can order them in. I've had them in the GT3 RS, I had them in my old GT4, I have them in the Spider, and I optioned them for here. They're full carbon back. Yeah, you can't adjust the like lean of them, but they still adjust down, up, left, right, not left, right, forward and back. They're just such a good bucket seat. I've sat in the McLaren and the Ferrari with the buckets and they're really uncomfortable. I've been in these seats for like 4 or 5 hour road trips and you don't get sore at all. And they just really, when you're going around a track and you're like taking that apex, these seats are well worth it. You don't slide around or anything. Like you're very hugged in there, and they have full Alcantara in the middle. I don't know, they just look kind of badass. I don't know why you would get a GT car without these seats in it. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, inside the car, we went with the full yellow deviated stitching. So all of the stitching on the car, the dash, the boot, everything is yellow, racing yellow to match the seat belts, which are also racing yellow. And I did the racing yellow tack and the sport chrono dial. So basically all racing yellow accents on the inside to match. A couple things. Front axle lift, without it in Houston, you literally can't drive the car. We went with the extended fuel tank, so I don't have to fill the car up every single day. Probably the most controversial option in the car and what you're gonna comment the most about is it is a PDK. The Spider's manual, and I'm keeping the Spider, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense for me to have a Spider in manual and the GT3 in manual, and the PDK is really fucking good. Until you've driven a PDK in a GT car, I don't think people really understand how good of a transmission it is. In hindsight, I think the manuals are selling for a little bit more right now, but I'm not looking to flip the car, so I'm okay with the PDK. Besides that, the 992 is just so much better than the GT3 RS that I had before, which is the 991.2, just in every aspect. I was kind of concerned when I first let go of the GT3 RS, thinking like, why would I sell an RS car for a non-RS car? I don't have any concerns now. I definitely made the right choice. It's so much more livable. It's so much nicer in here. It feels, when you're driving it, just as raw, just as fast. I think technically the RS is a little bit faster around a track, but just like day to day, having all the tech in here is so nice. And I didn't think I would like that, but having lived with it for a couple days now, it's so badass in here. We have wireless Apple CarPlay. All of the buttons that used to be down here are now moved up here. Just a lot of cleanup was done. It's very refined in here, but when you're driving it, it doesn't feel like it. When you're driving, it still feels like a true Porsche GT car. I'm not sure how they keep pulling this off. It's like every generation they get better and they don't lose that heritage feeling that everyone like wants. They're just, Porsche does everything so well. And that is gonna be it for this video. It's not really supposed to be a full review. I just wanted to show off the new car. And I guess like a first video of 2022. I gotta go down my like lists of thanks real quick. So first off, biggest thanks goes to Momentum Porsche, which is soon to be River Oaks Porsche. They're building one of the most badass Porsche dealerships in the US, and it's right down the street from my house. I'm super excited to show you guys that. Ramsey, Rob, David, all the guys over there are wonderful. If you were looking to get yourself a new Porsche, whether it's Macan or a GT3 or anything in between, don't hesitate to reach out to that first link down below, as well as my helpers tonight. HCX Supercar Media, as well as, was it Crane Designs? Or just Crane? I suck at this. And to you guys, because again, it's been another year and I know I haven't been the greatest YouTuber in the world. I made like 5 videos in all of 2021, but hopefully I can make things a little bit better this year and give you guys some more badass content. I think I did pretty good. I'll let you guys comment down below and let me know what you think of the new 992 GT3. Would you have let go of the 3RS for this? I'm willing to bet a decent amount of you guys will say hell no. I promise you, if you drove this and you drove that, this is better. And if you're not a car person, you're probably looking at this like, hey, Joe got a GT3, what's a big deal? But if you are a car person, this is impossible to get right now. This is like the golden ticket of cars. These are currently selling for $150,000 to $200,000 over sticker. So the fact I was able to get not just a GT3, but a paint to sample GT3, I could not be happier. I'll happily trade my GT3 RS for this thing. So lots more content to come. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I will catch you guys in the next one.